ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
California has launched Vax for the Win, a massive effort to get more people vaccinated. The governor is offering up more than $116 million in prizes for people to roll up their sleeves and get a dose. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has more on what's in store for Californians.
Close to 63% of Californians 12 and older are at least partially vaccinated. But about 12 million people who are eligible for the vaccine have not gotten it. Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday said the goal is to get north of 70% of eligible Californians vaccinated before June 15th. That's when the state plans to drop nearly all COVID-19 related restrictions. But state officials say they're starting to see a decline of doses being administered.
We can't afford to run, forgive me, the 90-yard dash. We got to finish the job.
The state is setting aside $50 gift cards for newly vaccinated people. Beginning May 27th, they're giving them to the first 2 million people in a first-come, first-served basis. There are also cash prizes that anyone vaccinated can have a chance at, meaning anyone who's gotten at least one shot of the vaccine is automatically enrolled in the drawing. 30 Californians will be selected to get $50,000 each. 10 will be selected to get $1.5 million each. This totals to a $116.5 million incentive program for California.
The cost of not getting vaccinated is exponentially, incalculably higher.
If people get vaccinated, that'll help the state then get back to normal. And that's what we really need then for the economy to fully recover.
Alan Jin, an economics professor at the University of San Diego, says the money would have a much bigger economic return in the way it's being used to bring back a sense of normality for businesses and the workforce. Jin also points out that while the state is launching a vaccination incentive program, it also works as a stimulus.
The money that goes out in the gift cards will go into the economy as people spend that in supermarkets and other places. So the bulk of the money then is going to find its way back into the economy.
Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
According to Newsom's office, money for the prizes will come from the state's disaster response account, which will then be reimbursed by the federal coronavirus relief money.
101 new coronavirus cases were reported today in San Diego County. That brings our total to almost 280,000. And there was one new death, bringing that total to 3,756.
And this closure without clear direction is really harming us.
The COVID-19 border restrictions have been extended for yet another month as businesses in San Ysidro continue to struggle. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria says it's time to lift those restrictions. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke one-on-one with the mayor about what he's doing to push officials in Washington to listen.
The mayor says he's had several meetings with high-ranking officials in D.C., but there is still no clear timeline for when these restrictions will go away. It's been a year and 2 months since the border closed to all non-essential travel, and now that the state is preparing to reopen June 15th, still no word on when restrictions will be lifted.
They see hope and opportunity on June 15th. That is not the same hope and opportunity that the businesses along our border have. That's why we're being outspoken and asking for change.
Mayor Todd Gloria says he's had meetings with the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, following up with a letter outlining the negative impact the closure has had on San Ysidro businesses. Just last week, a virtual meeting with Speaker Pelosi on the same topic.
We do not have the clarity that we want. We don't even have a date for potential reopening, and that lack of certainty is as harmful as the closure itself.
Gloria says Washington officials have been receptive, but the San Ysidro Chamber of Commerce president Jason Wells says some businesses are barely hanging on.
It's critically hurting our community.
Wells praised the mayor for his efforts, but says federal officials just aren't listening. 197 businesses in San Ysidro have closed for good. 95% of their clientele unable to cross since March 2020. Wells says the administration's focus seems to be on other issues.
It just seems like, we can't walk and chew gum. Any attention that's been given to the borders has been about migration.
Mayor Gloria says he'll continue advocating for San Diego, but says the restrictions need to go.
I immensely appreciate their willingness to give us their time, lend us their ear. Now we're asking them for them to take action, reopen the border.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
And the land border restrictions are still in place until at least June 21st. Again, the Biden administration has not provided any timeline for when this will happen.
As states work to get more people vaccinated, there is renewed focus on how the pandemic started. There are two new leading theories. Either the virus was transmitted through contact with a diseased animal or it accidentally leaked from a lab in China. President Biden has now ordered the U.S. intelligence community to redouble its efforts and report back in 3 months.
He felt that it was important, given a lot of confusion out there, to make public not only what the IC had done, but also to expand the investigation for 90 days, add more components of the federal government, including our national labs and our health and medical expertise.
China has denied a possible lab leak, but has come under pressure to grant more access to investigators.
Crowds are already starting to form at San Diego beaches, and it's not even officially Memorial Day weekend yet. Tomorrow marks the first holiday weekend since many COVID restrictions were loosened. Lifeguards and police say they will be increasing their staffing this weekend in anticipation of the holiday crowds.
Well, last year we were closing our parking lots and we had a lot of rules and restrictions out here on the beach. This year, it's a different story.
Some problems they've seen lately are people starting bonfires in the sand, which are illegal and can cause serious injuries. And if going to the beach with your family, lifeguards say the first thing you should do is pick a permanent landmark so that no one gets lost.
The San Jose community is coming together tonight to mourn the loss of 9 people killed in that deadly mass shooting. ABC's Morgan Norwood tells us investigators are slowly learning more about the shooter as new surveillance video is released.
Shock and grief as the San Jose community coming together honoring all 9 Valley Transportation Authority employees killed in Wednesday's senseless mass shooting.
After a terrible tragedy of yesterday, it is so inspiring to see so many people out here to show your love and respect.
Investigators once again raking through the rail yard where authorities say Samuel Cassidy started his rampage, unleashing several rounds, selectively targeting some of his colleagues. New surveillance video showing the gunman walking across the rail yard, the sheriff's office says, to kill more victims, just moments after shooting inside the building.
There was a person there that was a non-VTA employee, and the gunman said, "I'm not going to shoot you," and then began shooting other people.
One of those, Tajtep Singh, a married father of 2, warning his co-workers, even helping one woman to safety, even as the gunshots continued.
His first instinct, even in the last moment, was to help other people.
Alex Fritch critically injured in the chaos, his wife at the hospital holding his hand in his final moments.
He somehow knew I was there because his hand, it had been twitchy, but it grabbed my hand.
Officials now say the gunman fired nearly 40 shots, armed with 3 semi-automatic handguns, loads of high-capacity ammunition, all illegal to the state of California. This latest mass shooting, number 232 in America just this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive.
We will not stop until we get the legislation to protect the American people.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, San Bernardino County.
Families of fallen Capitol police officers were in Congress today. They're asking Republican senators to back a bipartisan commission to investigate the January 6th Capitol riots.
As someone who responded to January 6th, I'm here to educate senators about my experiences that day. And as an American, I'm here to advocate for the commission.
Officer Fanone was beaten with a flagpole, concussed, and suffered a heart attack defending the Capitol. The mother of the late Capitol police officer Brian Sicknick, who was attacked by rioters, also joined the lobbying effort. She said not having a commission would be a slap in the face to all of the officers who did their jobs that day. And still, Republican leaders are not moved, arguing the Justice Department and congressional committees are already conducting investigations.
There's no new fact about that day we need the Democrats' extraneous commission to uncover.
Democrats would need 10 Republicans in the Senate to vote with them to get the commission passed.
Chula Vista police need your help finding a suspect who attacked an elderly man at the Trolley station. Now, this happened about 2 weeks ago at the East Street station. Police say the suspect attacked a 76-year-old man completely unprovoked. The victim was pulled to the ground and beaten repeatedly, suffering cuts to his face and his wrists. The suspect fled before police arrived. If you have any information on this man you see in the picture, you're asked to call police.
A family is grieving tonight after the body of a missing Oceanside hiker was found at Joshua Tree National Park. 20-year-old Joey Espinoza was found on Wednesday southeast of Wonder Valley. A CHP helicopter spotted several pieces of clothing leading to the body. Family tells us Espinoza asked his grandmother to drive him to 29 Palms on Sunday to go for a hike. There is still no word on his cause of death.